Welcome to Houston Public Library presents Dungeons & Dragons Ghost of the Saltmarsh, Episode 0. Hello and welcome to Tabletop Gaming with HPL. My name is Taryn and I'll be your host today. I will also be playing the part of the Paladin Elbrith Bluestone, and I am currently residing at Collier Regional Library.
I am Derek. I will be the DM for this game, and I am at Central Library. These are our players.
Hello, my name's John. I'm at the Young Neighborhood Library. I am playing the human cleric Jean-Baptiste.
Hi, I'm Christine. I'm from the Central Library, and I'll be playing the Barbarian Crush Murren.
Hi, I'm Justin. I'm also from Central, and I'll be playing the Halfling Rogue, Welby Goodberry.
Hi, I'm Tula. I'm from the Mancuso Neighborhood Library, and I will be playing the Ranger Panic Lahel.
Hello, I'm Ajane from the Young Neighborhood Library, and I'll be playing the character Monk named Bluestone.
Hi, my name is Veronica. I'm at the Youngman Neighborhood Library, and I'll be playing the half-elf fighter, Mavrius.
Take it away, Derek.
All right. Well, this is not exactly a normal session. I think next session will be more of a normal play session. But in this session, I want to accomplish kind of getting the party to gel, getting all of that, all of who everybody is, how they're related, why they're here, what their motivations, all this sort of character and party stuff kind of out of the way. Not out of the way, but established. And gamers sometimes refer to that as session 0. I'm just going to real quick. I'm going to go through the players here in kind of in the order they are on their screen, and just ask you if you'd maybe give us a quick description of your character. Just tell us a little something about them to help us have who you're playing in our mind. Does that make sense?
Makes sense to me.
Agreed. Understood.
All right, great. So, Taryn, tell us some things about Elbrith, please.
Well, I am a dwarf, and I have been traveling with my cousin Ake for quite some time. I was raised in orphanage, and one day I got a mission from God.
All right. Is what that mission is a secret, or is it a secret to people in general, or to everyone, including you? What can you say about that?
My mission is basically to raise money for the orphanage that raised me and my cousin.
All right. Sounds good. How about Jean-Baptiste?
Jean-Baptiste is a human cleric. He's been in the seminary for a while, and his superiors thought he could stand some seasoning, and so he's good at the clerical stuff, like casting things and all that. But he needs to be more human focused and a bit more centered in the and bringing the good news of Imater to the world.
All right. I don't know if I've missed any physical. Is there anything you want to say about your characters physically?
Yeah, he's just a young man in his 20s. He's of sort of medium build and medium height, and brown skin, and just sort of wandering the earth. He's not good looking, but that's not like the first thing people are noticing about him. And he dresses well, but simply. His family has a bit of money, and so he's gotten. So he looks like he's not trying to show off any money, but he's definitely got a little bit, or his family does.
Okay. Thanks, John. How about Crush?
Crush is a young adult woman, half orc. She used to live out in the mountains with her family. They were trappers, and a nobleman basically forced them off of their ancestral home. And she's very angry about this, but doesn't have a lot of direction for it right now. So she's just sort of angry and not sure what to do with it. She's very, very tall. And while she does have a really soft spot for animals, she can and thinks that working for the good of the community is very important. She also holds grudges. She does not forgive easily. And she's got like that green-gray tone of skin that half-orcs can have sometimes, and dark hair.
Did you say halfling?
Half-orc.
Half-orc. Okay, that makes sense.
Yes, she's very tall.
I was thinking like suddenly very tall for a halfling changed my mental image. Makes perfect sense now. Thank you, Christine.
I'm assuming she's also ripped.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, you got to be to make those grudges stick.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it's just like sour looks.
Rage builds muscle.
We are truly in fantasy territory now, I can tell you. Justin, what about Welby?
Welby Goodberry is sort of an unassuming appearing halfling. Maybe looks a little bit older and wiser than he actually is. A bit of a nomadic streak and propensity for, well, let's just say costumes. If we want to metagame a little bit, he is an unreliable narrator reading the character's backstory. I don't believe it. I don't believe it for a second, which makes me really enjoy this character already. Apparently, disguise is a, let's just say, preferred halftime or hobby of Welby's. And looking over, Welby seems to enjoy deceit and trickery because that appears to be the way of the world. Life's the biggest con of all. But it doesn't appear to necessarily be malicious or evil. At least that's how he seems to portray it. So we'll find out, won't we?
Yeah. So does he have to take a big chest with him everywhere for all these costumes? How does that work?
Well, it says that there is a preferred or a best disguise. But it also seems that well, I don't want to reveal that because it says no one knows.
Okay. Right.
No one knows but you guys.
No.
And if you mention it, yeah, I will scream metagaming. It seems that Welby doesn't need to necessarily take all the costumes with him because let's just say he knows where they are. That's what matters.
Yeah.
And in other people's drawers, obviously.
You know what? I should go look in the inventory and see if I do have a big chest. I was just assuming based on the backstory.
Well, you can just go through other people's laundry and then you go.
Precisely. So I do not have a big chest, but I definitely have a kit.
That makes sense. Thanks. Let's talk about Panic.
Okay, Panic is a tiefling outlander. From what I've read, is that the last of their tribe, which was like brutally massacred. Yes,
Oh
so
no.
out for revenge, people. I am coming for the person who killed my parents. And but along the way, trying to go back, I'm also looking out for fire elementals, because the person, I know who killed him. I do recognize the person who killed him. I know that they are being protected by fire elementals. I will do what I can to track any type of those down and hunt them down. Uh, but so I have a sense, I swear revenge. I'm a bounty hunter, uh, and everything, but I'm also angry at, um, just for the rest of the nomadic tribes of my people, like that didn't come to help, to seek revenge. Like they didn't want to come help, so I'm kind of like, I'm like a loner, you know. But I have, apparently I'm really like strong, like strength, I guess, like because I can run really for a long distance. Because I have run for 25 miles nonstop. Um,
Oh my goodness.
so I don't know.
I hope you got one of those mail out medals for that.
I know. So, but I'm also like, I think, Crush said, like, doesn't take insult lightly. I don't either. Like, I remember every insult. And, but I hold it very silently. I will nurse it until it like boils up inside me, you know?
Hmm?
So yeah.
Thanks. I'm curious. It seems like Crush and Panic have a lot in common. Both displaced and carrying grudges against those who displaced them. I wonder if there's a connection there between the two of you that y'all might think about. Uh, seems like that might be an interesting possibility. If you all were to know each other, it could be that you share something there with, like maybe you were from the same lands, or close to the same lands that were affected by whatever this brutal displacement was that you both suffered from. That might be an interesting thing. Let's see. Oh, okay. Everybody looks like we're on the same page there. Ajane, how did you decide you wanted to pronounce your character's name?
Ache to rhyme with Jake.
Oh, she's pronouncing it. Okay, I may be having a little trouble hearing her.
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me okay?
I do. I hear you perfectly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's a little bit of a warble or a distortion, so it might be that we can't do anything about that right now. Would you tell us about Ake?
Okay, so Egg was raised with my cousin, as you know, Elbrith. We grew up in the orphanage after our parents died. They were on a journey surveying, and yeah, they just never came back. So we were taught dwarven religions and the cultures, martial arts, those kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we make sure we send money back to the orphanage because, I mean, like, we want to help others that were in the same circumstance as us. So, yeah, we do that as much as we possibly can. We are a part of a clan,
Okay.
somewhat. You know, we don't really have contact with the clan too much, but we're still considered members of it. And we stand on a firm belief of justice for the little guy. You know, even if we gotta rough up a little bit of the authorities or whatever, you know, getting that justice.
Yeah. Yeah. So does Ake share this this perspective that Elbreth has, that they're on a mission from God?
I think so. Yes. Like I feel very close to Elvin. I feel like we have the same mission, and which is overall that he sent it to us to just try to help as much as we can
Yeah.
in the land.
Going to be sure others get the same kind of help and support that you all got,
Exactly.
and or that they don't suffer from the same sorts of in mishaps or injustices as you all did. Yeah, sounds good. So I think that brings us last to Mavrius.
All right. Mavrius is a half elf. She's got very red hair and she's got a lot of freckles and she is very pale. She grew up in the streets of a very large city. A group of thieves living there basically came across her and went, okay, is no one else going to take this kid? Okay. And that was more or less her family for a while. So she's very street smart and she knows very little about nature, but she finds it very exciting. So that's part of what she's traveling for. So you can show her two different leaves. She will not be able to tell them apart, but she can definitely tell you a lot of stuff about how to get around in the back ways. She's the type to, she loves a good brawl, but she is just as willing to help someone back up, even if it's someone that was just a moment ago trying to attack her. And she just tends to hide things in her clothes, like little scraps of food, trinkets. She just kind of collects things.
Is it now? This is just kind of collecting? It's not it's not klepting, or is it?
I suppose that's a matter of perspective.
All right.
She's a fighter by type, but she's definitely got quite a bit of rogue in her as well. But she also is she's just along for the ride. She's having a great time.
All right, sounds good. Well, I'm going to ask you all to imagine a situation. Like you've started to get your heads, your imaginations into these characters, into who they are, where they're from, and so forth. I want you to imagine a situation in which wherever they are from, which is not probably going to matter for this game, wherever they are from, what would motivate them to just up and leave and immigrate somewhere else? Would it be fleeing from something? Would it be fleeing to something? And I mean, I'm talking here, wanting to leave, needing to leave, maybe having to leave, and you're like, what's the first boat out of here? Really, it's to a place I've never heard of, some small town on another continent that it might take me a month or 6 weeks on a ship to get to. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll go. That sounds okay. That sounds preferable to staying. because that's what's that's going to do is it's going to allow us to get all our characters to the adventure. It's also going to give us some time and opportunity for folks to either figure out how they're related to each other or become in some way related to each other, so that what we've got here is not only the characters but a party that's motivated to stick together and work together. So I want to throw that open to y'all's thoughts and see how can you fill in those blanks, and how can you kind of make the connections with the other folks here. And feel free to ask me if I need to rephrase, explain, or whatever what I'm getting at here.
Do we like answer right now, or do you?
Yes.
So what? Like okay, so
order?
okay, like I mean, because I mean, if you want my answer for panic, like why panic would be leaving? I mean, yeah, but like what John was asking, do you want them in order right now,
or backwards order?
I mean, do you? I mean, I can impose order on it, or I can kind of let it sit a little bit and see. Because I don't.
This is by nature chaos. How much order can you impose?
Yeah, I mean, some.
Keep in mind.
I don't feel a need to measure it beyond this kind of a general sum.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, whether you feel like, well, I feel real strongly about my character, so I want to get this out there, or whether you kind of want to talk it out, amongst yourselves. We've got two cousins here, so they definitely are showing up with a strong relationship already in place. On the face of it, it seemed to me like Panic and Crush might have some things in common worth thinking about and talking about. So I can. So you kind of let me know how much. Do you want more structure, or do you want to kind of talk it out in a conversation amongst yourselves?
Well, I kind of know why Panic would instantly be getting on a boat to leave.
Okay.
But I mean, I've never,
Yeah.
since I'm probably one of the newest people to be playing an actual full D&D game, I'm going to leave it up to y'all how y'all do this, because I'm following y'all's leads.
I mean, this is kind of a situation where different groups and different DMs do things differently. I like to encourage the players to kind of come up with the ideas and make the connections, because that I think that gives y'all more ownership of it. A chance to be creative and a chance to feel good about kind of building this rapport with each other, and kind of your characters kind of doing that at the same time. And you get from there, you can go any direction in gaming. I mean, people are like, don't care, we're not doing this, or everybody meticulously writes down pages and pages of notes, which all separately, which the DM then has to somehow make sense go together and makes said DM want to leap off of a cliff.
Sounds familiar.
I'm trying to think of the other parts of this isn't a spectrum here. This is multiple dimensions.
It's true.
To DMs who script, just really script everything for their players. And so, this is kind of my way of doing it. So, I mean, I know John's, I think John's pretty on the trigger, but, that's Tula, this no being being new is no reason to not go first in this case. It's totally up to you.
Well, Welby's motivation is pretty obvious just because he is nomadic by nature. Just thinking over interaction with other characters and establishing rapport and friendship on the boat or on the journey, I don't think Welby would go as himself just because that's sort of out of his character. He would probably use one of his disguises. And his favorite disguise is Joxor. I'm saying that right? The apothecary. And so right there, I see two connections, the healing arts. So there might be Jean-Baptiste notices somebody who has, potions or something like that, or an interest in making non-magical healing, or what? Let me just see real fast. And then also, if it is an apothecary, there's going to be, I assume, use of herbs and natural remedies. So Mavrius has an interest in wildlife and nature, so that might be one way to connect. Another one is Mavrius also is sort of a thief fighter, so there's probably, you notice somebody who has a similar set of skills, especially if they're trying to be sneaky about them and hide them.
Okay, and how do you spell that apothecary's name again?
Joxer, Joxer.
I'm sorry, one more time.
Joxer, Joxer.
Got it. Oh,
is
pretty.
Am I
pretty simple
pronouncing it, and it's a joke?
Yeah, I like boxer, but with a J. Why? Yeah. Okay, and so you're imagining Joxer, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, not knowing any of these people. He's the kind of person who's just going on his own initially.
Yeah. I think it's just the sort of thing that Welby just decided, you know what? It's time to go on a trip, go somewhere. The nomadic urges kicked in and just said, let's go where this boat's going.
All right. And I know there were John, were you wanting to go?
Yeah. Yes. So, he's not been kicked out of the seminary. He's been sent on co-op assignment. He's good at healing. He's good at whatever magical things you learn. But and they got a letter, and it took a long time to get there. But they got a letter from some of the new immigrants in Saltmarsh, because I was reading that background document. And it says there's new people moving in. So and some of them were old Emeterites, and they wanted to get someone. And they figure a growing settlement like that also needs a healer. And so there's a little bit of opportunity to do the good, to spread the good word of Elmater, and also to just show by example and heal and be helpful. He gets there, there's like 5 families. And so he's got a lot of time on his hands to heal and otherwise sit and ask me about Elmater and his good works. And so, yeah, he's there. He's excited to go because it's an assignment. It's a thing. It's a chance to be out in the world and do the good work. At the same time, he gets there and it's sort of, it's not Book of Mormon bad, but a bit more Northern Exposure bad. Like, okay, everything's weird here, and it's not exactly at all what I thought it was going to be. So
I'm working on clarity on something. Did he volunteer, or was he voluntold? Or...
He was voluntold. It was about the right time anyway.
JB, we hear that there's a place across the sea that needs clerics.
Yes,
And
I
we
keep
think it
pulling
would be
from
good for you to get out.
I keep pulling from pop culture references, but another good pop culture reference here would be Hot Fuzz. If you're familiar with the beginning of that movie where the Simon Pegg character is, everyone is saying, yes, we have an assignment for you. It's in the West Country, as far away as we can get you. And he isn't quite on catching that they're trying to get rid of him. He's like, it's an assignment and it's great. And so his last few weeks here in Saltmarsh, he has been doing good work. He has been healing people. He's been preaching the good word. He's broken up a few fights, because he's got that big old mace and he can do that. But otherwise, he's not sure exactly what's going on.
Okay, so John went, and Christine, were you waiting to go next?
Yeah.
Are we ready to move forward? Maybe that gave everybody who needed a little extra thinking time, a little extra
Yeah.
Take it away, Crush.
Okay. Credit where credit is due. Veronica had some of these ideas. But as far as connections between Mavrius and Crush and Panic, like has been pointed out, Panic and Crush definitely have a lot in common. And both Panic and Crush would know a lot of things that Mavrius would find fascinating. So potentially, at least in Crush's case, she wants technically vengeance, but has no real plans on how to make it happen. So she's wandering, making a living here and there, but also kind of just, she has a cause, but she has no plan. And she's just wandering around hoping she'll figure out a plan along the way. She can go to a city, not know how it works, run into Mavrius, who knows how cities work, but not how outside works. And they run into Panic, who does have something of a plan, and they go, hey, mood, what if we help? And they end up in Saltmarsh because that's what you do when you're wandering the globe looking for someone who killed your parents. You end up a lot of places. So that was our rough thoughts.
What do you think, Tula?
I like that idea because that's what I was kind of I was like, the only reason, instantly, if you're gonna send me, the idea of like your little, I can't think right now, the plot of like saying, what would get you on a boat was like, for me, it would be just, I heard something about like maybe the killer was like, of my parents was in Saltmarsh. I'm going straight there. I'm like, nothing's going to stop me. I'm just on my way and I'm just like, boom. And whoever I meet on along the way would be just, that's also out, looking for, out for a good time or whatever, or on the road for vengeance, can join the party. That's just me.
Also, half-orc tiefling solidarity. I'm here for it. So those were our ideas.
Okay.
You have the city fighter, and then you have the wild people, and they're on a mission.
They're wild.
At least one mission.
A mission from God.
I think this mission could be from a different personality, but I'm just spitballing here.
I was put on this planet for one purpose and one purpose only. Luckily for me, I forgot it, so I get to do what I want.
That's Mavrius.
Also not my original statement. I saw it on the internet, but it's funny.
And by the way, just kind of the general kingdom that you all know Saltmarsh is in is called Keoland, and I put it there in the chat. Yeah, it's
okay, not spelled like that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Kind of like the land where knockouts were handed out. Please forward all your complaints to Gary Gygax.
I love it. That is such a helpful way to remember it.
Oh, that's the intro. Kale. Kale. Yeah, lots of possibilities there. Kale could still be a thing in Keoland. I mean, to make it edible, John, I would assume that you got to do something to kale.
Feed to the peacocks.
I wonder if Mavrius was, the only person that I caught on to mentioning a city was Mavrius. So I wonder if Mavrius is from the port city that the ship left from.
That it left from to get to Saltmarsh?
Yes.
Sure, why not?
So Anjane and I came up with ours as well.
Okay, please.
Yeah. So we heard that somewhere here in this Keoland place, there is enough gold for us to not only rebuild our orphanage, but rebuild a ton of other orphanage, and we want to find it.
Did you say found or find?
Find.
What, to find it?
Yeah. We found it already. Game's over. Good night.
Veronica, you might want to.
No, I meant like I wasn't sure if you were saying search or establish. In other words.
Yeah, we want to search for the gold that's in this land that can rebuild our orphanage and all the other orphanages.
Heck, you could. Is this is there like a greater institution that's franchising these orphanages? Maybe you're looking to open a local branch or whatever.
Local branch.
That is the franchise of the Bluestone clan. All two of us.
Here at Blues,
I'm sorry, I'm really cracking up over this. I'm going to go home and watch the Blues Brothers again.
Here at Bluestone,
Businesses.
here at Bluestone and Bluestone, we are not going to let any part of the world go without a place that will make orphans welcome and safe. And
That sounds very threatening. Like you're going to make all the orphans.
Did I pitch it wrong? Or I mean, these are people that carry a lot of, arms and things. But yeah, I mean, always tell me when I get something wrong, please.
Yeah, it sounds right to me. It should be fine. As long as you're not trying to harm an orphan, you should be fine.
We're not,
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Just to pop back in real quick, I think I would just want to make the port city the most recent place Mav's been, because she's been to a couple places. It's just her home advantage is only when she's in a city.
Unfortunately, there was a little Mr. Roboto that came in there, and I wasn't able to make it all out.
Oh no. Okay. The city in question,
Yeah.
I want it to be just the most recent haunt of Mavrius, as she's been to a couple other places first.
Oh, okay. All right.
Mostly because I don't want to figure out too many details about her hometown just yet.
So like a bit of an urban wanderer.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. So I mean, we're imagining a situation. If you all are on a ship together for a month to 6 weeks, you're the.
Oh no.
Yeah. I mean, this is a major sea voyage.
Wait, how many
She will
weeks?
make a nuisance of herself.
What's that?
How many weeks are we talking?
I mean, at least a month.
Oh my goodness.
Could be. Yeah. This is you've left one continent. This is a big trip. This is
By
Time
day
for
3,
everyone to get
time
their
has no
feelings.
meaning.
Yeah, we're not gonna do it day one. We're not, I mean, we could. No, we're not. Uh,
Time to role play being seasick.
yeah, yeah. Everyone make your save, your Constitution save, because the unfortunately it's a higher difficulty check because the sea is really heaving today. I mean, there would be days like that. Oh, there we are. Yeah.
Mountain
Oh no.
dwarf stomach.
Yeah, well, but with a high C, that disadvantage, right? That second roll's a
Oh.
5.
Well, oops. My goodness.
So you all, you know, you're the only people who are immigrating. This Agent Bellwether, I'll just go ahead and put that in. Agent Bellwether was sent by the authorities in Saltmarsh in this ship, you know, trying to drum up, hey, you know, Saltmarsh is open for business. We're looking for new folks to come and help make Saltmarsh a better place now that it's been liberated from the harassments of the sea princes by good King Scody, I think is his name. And you know, the people in this boat are the people who said, yeah, well, that sounds like a good deal. And so he has promised you all you know, a new start in life. And you know, what could be nicer than the fact that Saltmarsh has actually set apart a number of dwellings on a nice little cove. So initially you're going to have a place to move in and stay. And you know, that's kind of the offer that Bellwether was bringing, that you all took him up on before you set sail on a journey that I thought I mentioned the length of it, but at the beginning, but maybe I didn't get it across. The good ship Wanderer is you know, making something roughly equivalent to a transatlantic voyage to this new place that you all have either decided to go or were voluntold.
I love that word.
And did I miss?
We don't care where you go, just get out of the city.
I mean, I feel like in real life we all share a background that allows us to identify with that. Did everybody get to make the pitch they wanted to make, or the explanation that they wanted to make, or is there anything that you know? I mean, if we can all, I mean, this, you know, whoops, sorry, I'm getting some sort of alert that I thought I had kept from happening. You know, it's fine for us to just imagine it the way that you all have and said, oh, well, you know, Crush and Panic and Mavrius, for example, have a lot to talk about. Or if you actually wanted to say, like, oh, well, Welby wants to ask Jean Baptiste the following, you know, one day at the rail. I mean, it can go either way.
Just the idea being that we play out the interesting parts, and the monotony we can gloss
yeah, I mean,
over.
the imagining, the monotony, you know, we are. If I'm sorry if you were looking forward to that, but I'm thinking that we're just going to kind of imagine that. We can all imagine days that it's beautiful, and you say, "What a great decision this was," and isn't seafaring just awesome? Why did I wait so long to make this life change? And then other days where you're saying, why do I not feed the sharks that are following in the wake of this ship? The existence.
Or you look down and see a shadow and go, "Oh no!"
Yeah.
Ocean big. This was
Yeah,
a mistake.
I mean, and I just want to be clear, you know, the picture, the image that you all have in front of you, the cover illustration from Ghosts of Saltmarsh, that's just suggestive. That's not like any particular day when you're at sea. Otherwise, we might have to add sanity scores to this game.
It wasn't on the brochure, that's for sure.
Yeah. Agent Bellwether, you did not tell us that there might be Krakens or Cthulhuoids or whatever that is.
And then Mavrius just jumps into the ocean to fight it.
Yeah,
All
probably.
right.
So
Well-
anybody yes? Anybody no? Do we feel like we have like the reason that we're all working together? And again, let me say, I think that player's guide that you got said, you're a band of adventurers who seek the betterment of the people of Saltmarsh. I mean, that is actually kind of you've contractually signed on to that. It's not just a notion. Agent Bellwether, explained the terms, and you all said, yeah, of course we're going to work for the good of Saltmarsh. Of course we're going to be law-abiding citizens. Of course we're going to be helpful apothecaries. Of course, if we ever need to pitch in, we will, and so on and so forth. And then he said, okay, because they are paying a significant part of your passage. This, a voyage like this would be very expensive, so they're footing part of that bill, and then they're giving you a place to live in a cove. Doesn't that sound wonderful? I would like to go live in a cove. Is it
You're
just
just
me?
now figuring that out, John.
I think Bellwether should be concerned about the interpretation of bringing safety and prosperity to a location. Their definition might be very different from his. So they will do good on their agreement, but it won't make him happy.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting that. You tricked me. Oh.
Are we to imagine Agent Bellwether like approaching you in a tavern at a maybe a moment where your judgment was a little malleable, or
So he used my vengeance to get what he needed.
Well, I mean, it's.
I don't like. He's going to go on my naughty list.
Now, if you expressed expressed some of this to him later on the ship, Agent Bellwether would have said, "Oh well, this is to be a win-win for everyone involved. Saltmarsh needs repopulation after some of the deprivations that it's gone through. It needs good, productive citizens, and you need a new start. Everyone benefits."
I don't need no new start. I haven't even finished what I started on originally.
But surely Saltmarsh can be a good place for you to build a foundation on which to make good on those life goals. Bellwether says, you notice he has a gold tooth. You didn't notice that the first time you talked to him, but now that he's giving you what he apparently considers a winning, charming smile, you see the sun glint on that tooth. No? You give him an icy stare.
Mav is trying to figure out the easiest way to steal that tooth.
Oh my goodness!
Does she say as much to anybody?
How could that?
No,
be?
she's just looking very She's just looking at him very thoughtfully.
Sure. I understand.
She's not listening to a word he says. She's just looking at him very thoughtfully.
Well, and yeah, well, Agent Bellwether notices that and says, "See, Crush gets it. The betterment of us all."
Trish is just going to look at him a bit skeptically.
The greater good.
Oh, no, she's all for greater good, but she's not sure his definition matches hers, so she's just going to squint at him.
Panic is going to be like, wait a minute. So is my parents' killer not even in Saltmarsh? I was told my parents' killers was there. Where are, like, that's why I'm on this boat getting seasick.
Well, I don't know exactly what you heard. I'm very sorry on your loss. Agent Bellwether says there are many villains and cutthroats that have been tossed out of Saltmarsh. The Sea Princes to the south. Perhaps your killer is among them. His voice trailing off. He has the look of a man that in his own way is as unsure of how he got to this point as Panic is unsure.
Panic
Without
is just gonna
any-
stare at him.
Without any lead-in.
So another character walks up. It's Backy Gorham, the old first mate. You've gotten to know him on this journey. This is his last voyage. He's looking forward to retiring in Saltmarsh.
Oh no!
Oh no!
and Backy says, "Aye, the Sea Princes. They were a terrible lot. Good riddance to him." And he attempts to spit over the rail, but you know what they say about the wind. It falls. It falls.
Oh no!
Falls short and splats on the deck. If you look at it, you might wonder, what was he chewing when he produced that saliva? I don't know. The voyage, there's really nothing in particular we need to get done about the voyage other than getting there. So if there's
3 weeks and 6 days left to go, so I'm sure we'll have plenty of time.
I forgot you guys wanted to do each one of those 42 days.
This will be the least watched video that HPL was produced if we do that.
I had kind of envisioned arriving in Saltmarsh and you all setting up shop there. But should we save that for the beginning of next time?
Okay.
I think that's a good idea.
Good idea. So we don't feel like we have to rush or anything.
I don't know if is the chat being recorded into our video, because if not, I would like to recommend that everyone know that JP is really disgusted by that bad spit, and
I am recording my screen, so that the chat is definitely in the screen.
Okay. He's just not pleased.
I suppose it's a question of if everyone in the chat is looking at the chat. I mean, like in the game is looking at the chat.
So Friar Jean-Baptiste.
He's trying to be cool, but it's not working.
Well, yeah, I mean, seafarers, they're a particular type, I guess. All right. Well, if I thank you all. I think I got enough material here written down that kind of gives me some clarity, and hopefully you got some questions answered, some things kind of in place in your mind, and we will pick up with you all starting your new life in your new home in Saltmarsh.
Yay!
Yay.
Looking forward to it.
I'm so excited. This is so fun.
Great. Great.
That's the fun of it.
Yes.
See where it goes.
GG.
GG.
Thanks, everybody.
All right.
Bye.
Connecting.
Thank you for joining us on our first journey through the salt marshes. Be sure to like and subscribe for more Dungeons & Dragons adventures. Also, Be sure to use the hashtag #ILoveHPL on all your own D&D adventures. See you next time!